Good morning. This is Professor Michael Carey of Seton Hill University, Professor of History and Political Science, and this morning I'm moderating the Candidates Forum, the AARP-sponsored Candidates Forum here at Mountain View Inn in Greensburg. And our candidates this morning are Commissioner Kim Ward and Dr. Tony Bompiani, who will be answering audience questions and some questions developed by the AARP Voters Guide. And so we're going to begin with opening statements by each of the candidates, and we start with Candidate Ward.
Good morning. Thank you very much for holding this, and thank you for your participation. It's quite a pleasure to be here this morning. I will begin by telling you a little bit about me. I grew up in Meadowlands in Washington County, a little coal town where my parents still live in the house that my great-grandparents built when they immigrated here from Italy. My great-grandparents worked in, and my grandfather worked in the coal mines. My father was a machinist and a member of the Steelworkers Union. My mother still works in social services. I'm running on a few issues that I'm going to stress. One is taxes. I believe that we should have a hard referendum for taxes. I don't believe that government should just be able to raise our taxes without talking with us first. Also on reform, and I have a record of that, just as I do about taxes. I have never voted to raise any taxes. As a supervisor in Hemphill Township, of which I was a supervisor for 6 years, we enacted the first ever code of conduct for elected officials. And we did so because we know that when people don't have confidence in their government, your government can't function. So I did a code of conduct, and also, regardless of what my opponent is saying, I cleaned up that Hempfield Municipal Authority mess while we were there. Also, after becoming a county commissioner, I have put forth a proposal to take the politics out of the Westmoreland County Community College Board. You know, that board is, that institution is for education, not for patronage. I also put forth a car policy in the county. You know, with energy prices what they are and gas prices and everybody struggling, we need to tighten our belt everywhere we can in government. And on that note, as I decided to run, I am not taking my health care benefits, and I'm also returning my paycheck to the taxpayers during the time that I'm running. Also, economic development. We can't go anywhere and we can't create jobs here in Pennsylvania if under the present regulations and tax structure. Our state is very, very high on the list of having the highest business taxes in the nation. And until we change that, it'll be more and more difficult to be able to recruit businesses here that are going to create and maintain good jobs. I also am for a part-time legislature with part-time pay. I think that would probably save us close to $90 million a year. And it would enable a lot of people to run. It would enable senior citizens to run. It would enable stay-at-home moms to run. You know, Pennsylvania, in many ways, doesn't want to change. If you could vote from home, if a legislator could vote from home instead of going to Harrisburg, we really would have better representation and a wider spectrum of representation from the electorate. You know, I believe strongly in transparency in government because you can't have accountability unless you can see what it is your government's doing. I think we should be able to, the taxpayer should be able to click on a button and see exactly where their money is being spent and what is going on, because right now there's money hidden in all kind of accounts, and that's not right because it's your money. If elected, I will not be accepting the per diems that they give presently, which I believe are around $150 a day. They give legislators those for room and board and meals while they're there. That said, if they don't use it at the end of the year, sometimes they write themselves a check. And that may sound like a drop in a bucket, but it is, you get many drops in a bucket, and before you know it, your bucket is full. So I appreciate you letting me be here this morning, and I look forward to dialogue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Ward. Our next 39th State Senatorial District candidate is Dr. Tony Bompiani.
Thank you, Dr. Carey. And I want to thank the AARP for sponsoring this forum. It's like music to my ears. I've been asking for a debate on issues since I decided to run, since the first of the year, actually. We did have a debate in the primary with my primary candidate. It was very energizing, very spirited, and very informative, I believe, to the people who did attend. It's nice to see so many faces here. It's nice to see that it's being for being put live on WCMS, and I welcome the opportunity to speak to the issues. A little bit about myself. I'm a grandfather, father, I'm a chiropractor. I've been a chiropractor for the last 31 years in Youngwood. Born and raised in Youngwood. I married my childhood sweetheart, Renee, and my wife Renee was born and raised in Youngwood as well. We both graduated from Hemphill Area High School, and we've raised 3 beautiful children. Our children have blessed us with 6 grandchildren. The first 5 were born before last Saturday, and they were all boys, all under the age of 5, very precocious and very active. This past Saturday, we were blessed with our first granddaughter, Antonella Renee, which we're very, very proud of. Looking at their faces, looking in their eyes, gives me impetus to run for this office. Almost 2 years ago, I decided to throw my hat in this ring after speaking with my wife and seeing if my family would be on board for me. I'm not running to get a job. I don't need a job. I have one. I've been a chiropractor, as I said, for 31 years. During that time as a chiropractor, though, I can see what's happened to healthcare. I can see what's happened to the economy. I can see what's happened with entitled politicians that are struggling to get their job, their next job, or keep the job they have, and couch their votes on that reason. We'll never have relief with health care until the politicians, the people in office, have to pay for their own health care. They've got the best health care money can buy, our money can buy. What gives them the impetus to even fix it for ourselves? We talk about 700,000 non-insured Pennsylvanians. What about the millions of us that are uninsured? The millions of us that are told we have coverage, but yet our co-pays are so high we really don't have coverage. I've been blessed to be on a school board at Hemphill for 12 years, and I say blessed. When I first ran for that office, I was told it's the most thankless job you can get. And for the last 13 years, up till now, I felt it was the most thankful job you could have. Get to rub shoulders with our new upcoming stars, our brightest and best, our future, and help them attain their goals. Help them make our economy better. Help them make our lives better. Help them take care of us when we get in our golden years. But now, through this campaign and the attacks that are going on, I see that it isn't always a thankful job. We've worked hard. We've worked hard on the school district to keep property taxes as low as we could do it. We cut the spending that was initially given to us on every budget, working to the wee hours of the morning to try and do that. We've watched as our cost share from the state, their share of the cost of education has dwindled 30% less. Give me that 30% back, you all get property tax relief. In fact, we'd have never raised taxes. But you know what? I still go back to looking at my grandchildren's eyes. I still go back looking at your eyes. Those of you and my children, grandchildren, and other grandchildren that don't have a voice. They need someone that wants to get in office because they want to do a job, not get a job. They need someone that is willing to throw themselves under the bus and go through what that person goes through with the caucuses that are in both the Republican and Democrat caucuses. The leadership is what, at this point in time, is causing us to, or causing them to vote the way they do. I will not be tied to anybody. The governor, Democrats, the Republicans. I will be tied to you. I don't want you to look up to me. I want me to look up to you. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Bompiani. Several times during this program, I will repeat the fact that this is the AARP Candidates Forum, and that our candidates for the 39th State Senate District are Kim Ward and Tony Bompiani, who are answering questions here this morning. Now we'll go to the first question. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to it, with 1 minute for the rebuttal position. And the question is about electricity deregulation. The state imposed an interim cap on residential electric rates. And now that those rates are going to be coming off, it's predicted that the rates could rise by about 50% in the future. So the question is, do you support or oppose legislation that will ensure that standard electric service is provided at rates that are cost-based and reasonable?
I support that. And furthermore, we have to, with the price of health care and taxes and energy, we can't afford, no one can afford an additional